Hello everyone! Today I will be talking about post-traumatic stress disorder, military veterans, and what art therapy has done for this population specifically. So let's get started. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is a disorder that occurs after a traumatic event that is beyond what a person's stress level can handle. This includes assaults, natural or human-caused disasters, accidents, combat, and forms of violence. The trauma itself can range differently among people, but there is a difference between gender. Women are more likely to experience sexual assault and child sexual abuse, while men are more likely to experience accidents, physical assault, combat, disaster, or to witness death or injury. What is interesting, however, is that not everyone that experiences a traumatic event will get PTSD. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, it's said that about half of all U.S. adults will experience at least one traumatic event in their lives, but don't develop PTSD. However, 7 to 8% of the United States population will get PTSD, 10% of women, and 4% of men. And in a given year, 8 million adults will get this. I must say that is a lot of people who experience this disorder. The symptoms of PTSD include scary, persistent thoughts and memories of the event, sleep problems, easily getting startled, and often feeling numb. PTSD also comes in several forms, with the most severe being to impair a person's ability to function at work, home, and socially. As of right now, there are 2 types of treatment. The first is psychotherapy, in which the idea of this treatment is to focus on the memory of the traumatic event. In psychotherapy, there are 3 types of treatment: prolonged exposure, cognitive processing therapy, and eye movement desensitization and pre-processing. All 3 of the treatments directly involve navigating one's thoughts and feelings about the trauma and process through it. The second type of treatment is medication, and that's just antidepressants like Prozac and Effexor. If a person gets treatment for PTSD, they will be able to learn how to handle their negative feelings and thoughts, reconnect with others, make sense of the trauma, and set goals for activities that they can handle. Now, for military veterans or active service members, they are vulnerable to experiencing traumatic experiences on the battlefield. There's people shooting at them and their comrades, and dangers of suicide bombings and potential grenades. In an article that Jeremy Ramirez wrote, he said that service members have to endure excessive physical exertion, lack of food and sleep, and social support systems that would affect the soldiers' health and quality of life. This somehow also includes sexual trauma and harassment during military deployment, and it prevails more to females than males. Although I have already mentioned some treatments for PTSD, art therapy has been used and tested with military veterans. So far, the results of the therapy sessions have been positive. In one study in 2013, Kopitin and Lebedev used 112 war veterans that were on treatment for PTSD. These veterans were randomly assigned to a control group and an experimental group who went through many art therapy sessions. The overall results were that the experimental group had improved self-esteem, increased humor, and creative problem solving. Another study that was done by Radmacher in 2009 integrated multimodal exposure-based group treatments, including creative arts therapy. This resulted in a reduction of PTSD symptoms in the veterans that were tested. Also, there was an article that explained some of the art therapy techniques that an institution uses for their military veterans and active service members. There were 2 types of treatment models that the author, Jacqueline Jones and her team, wrote on. The first type was a short-term art therapy set of sessions with medical care. At the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, they have military members participate in a 4-week program that involves different art projects and any personal goals that are based on the projects. One example was creating masks with a pre-made mask, using art media to alter the mask however they want. This would allow the service members to express their inner mental states through making the mask. At the end of the treatment, the service members get to do montage paintings. What the article states is that what montage paintings do is to give a way to integrate a patient's experiences in one space and form a layered and non-linear narrative. Through the entire session, the service members get access to medical and nursing care, physical therapy, nutrition counseling, individual counseling, family therapy, animal-assisted therapy, music therapy, and mind-body-based interventions. Both art therapy and medical assistance comes with the program, although it would be interesting to see what just having an art therapy session will be like for the service members. The second treatment model is a long-term art therapy set of sessions for outpatients. At the Intrepid Spirit 1 at the Fort Belvoir Community Hospital, the art therapy program there extends beyond the 4-week program that the short art therapy program offered, and the former has 3-level treatment protocols. The first level treatment protocol is a 3-week art therapy session that introduces the service members to art therapy through making art. It's limited to 5 patients at a time and incorporates mask making, painting, and therapeutic writing. The second level treatment protocol dives more into identity development, insight, and emotional regulation to go alongside making art. The projects in this level specifically geared towards self-healing and positive aspects of oneself. This level treatment protocol goes into 6 weeks with a project each week. For example, the first week has the service members use 2 pieces of drawing paper, and they are to depict their greatest fear at the moment on one paper, and their greatest comfort at the moment on another paper. They can also use 2-dimensional media, but they can draw, paint, or make a collage. The idea of this project is to externalize the service members' greatest concern and create an environment that makes them feel less alone in their struggles. It can also dive into what they focus on in terms of life and find ways to counter the negative feelings and experiences. The third level treatment protocol focuses on individual art sessions rather than group sessions. The service members focus on their individual goals and needs and have art projects based on that. In the article, it says that the patients dive deeper into self-expression, externalization, exploration, and processing based on their individual needs. The art projects in this level treatment are usually long-term, so the service member patients work on them independently in open studio art therapy groups. In this process, the art therapist is a consultant and can see the process of what the service members make during the sessions. Throughout this treatment experience, the service members' patients still get access to the medical care that the short-term treatment plan had, but have to balance out regular life with the care and art therapy sessions because they're outpatients. Overall, in looking at the 2 types of treatment, Jones and her team found positive changes for the service members who underwent the art therapy program. Many of these positive changes include decrease of guilt, anger, depression, or sadness, and negative beliefs of the world. The service members were able to create a new sense of self, become productive members of society, and connect to others rather than isolating them. They described their journey as facing off against their personal enemies, which led them to gain control of their symptoms and experiences. It helped them talk to people about their art and share their struggles, which improves their communication and relationships with self and others. To conclude, art therapy sessions with service members with PTSD have positive outcomes in regards to those that take the sessions. Even though psychotherapy is the most common and cost-effective treatment, it is missing the element of treating avoidance/emotional numbing, according to Jeremy Ramirez's article. However, if psychotherapy and art therapy came together as one treatment program, it would treat service members with PTSD better in terms of their care. If art therapy programs are given to active duty or veterans as soon as they are diagnosed with PTSD, they would have less risk for developing greater PTSD symptom severity in the future. Also, the service members can still get medical care alongside art therapy because it helps them get treated. However, who is to say of what would happen if there was only art therapy sessions given to service members and veterans? That would be something interesting to look into and further research on in the future. Thank you so much for watching my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. and have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are. Bye-bye!